Good morning. Today is Sunday, July 25th, 2021. Ve'achalta v'savata uve'rachtas Hashem Elokecha. The famous verse in this week's Torah portion, and you will eat, and you will be satisfied, and you will bless Hashem your God for the delicious food that He is giving you. Even if it's not so delicious, you still have to bless God. So the Torah requires what we call benching. The word bench is Yiddish for bless, sometimes called Birkat HaMazon, the grace after meals. That has its source in this week's Parsha. Our rabbi, and that applies when we have a meal that includes bread. So we start with the bracha Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz, that's before eating, and then we end with the Birkas HaMazon, with the benching, with the grace after meals. Our rabbis continued the spirit of this mitzvah to require a shorter thanks after eating a smaller amount. So, for example, if a person doesn't have a full meal, they didn't have bread, but let's say they had some cookies, then there is a shorter paragraph. We refer to it as Al HaMichya. It's like a mini grace after meals, but it's for kind of a substantial snack. And then our rabbis also legislated Barei Nefashos, and that's for a small snack. If a person has some candy, some ice cream, if a person has anything that takes the bracha shahakol, a person has a drink, a person has a piece of fish or a piece of meat, not in the context of a meal. And for many of us, this is the most common blessing after eating. It's the shortest, and it covers the widest ranges of snacks. And the words of this bracha are as follows. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech olam. Blessed are you, God, King of the universe. Barei nefashos rabos v'chesronon. You created many, many different kinds of living creatures and their deficiencies. Al kol ma shebarasa lahachias b'am nefesh kol chai. For all that you created to sustain the life that is living, Baruch Chei Ha'olamim, blessed is He, the giver of life to the world. It's a beautiful bracha. It's a short blessing. It's something that it makes sense either to keep with you or to learn by heart, because after any snack, any light refreshment, this is the blessing that we make to thank Hashem for what He has given us. All right, it makes sense to say that Hashem created all of these different creatures and created all of us and created everything in the world to be able for us to enjoy, and we thank God for everything that He created. That makes perfect sense. What's a little bit hard to understand is just one word. We say that God created many different creatures, the chesronon, and their deficiencies. God created within every single person deficiencies, things that we lack, things that we do not have. Now, I understand that it's a fact of life that everyone has deficiencies, but why do we thank God for that? Why is that part of what we are thanking God for? We thank God for what we have. Why should we thank God for what we do not have? Rabbi Jonathan Sachs gives the following answer. It is only because of our deficiencies that we need each other. If you think about it within the context of food, for me to be able to eat something, for me, Michael Whitman living in Hampstead, for me to be able to eat something, I need so many different people. I need a farmer, I need a trucker, I need a factory worker, I need someone that works in marketing, I need someone that runs a grocery store, I need someone who works in the grocery store. Maybe I even need someone to bring the food from the grocery store to my house. So many people. And the truth is, every single one of us lacks something. If every one of us lacked nothing, we would not need anyone else. Deficiencies make possible relationships. And relationships make possible community. It's true with food, and it's true in every area of life, that every one of us is missing something, or more than just something, and we need someone else. You need me, I need you, each of us needs each other, and because of it, it brings us together. It creates relationships. It creates communities. Now, the truth is that there is a balance, and the balance can be difficult at times because there is a great danger on being completely reliant on others, because it could lead us to take help for granted, and it could lead us to a sense of entitlement, and it could lead us to even a feeling, why should I even bother to try to help myself? Someone else will take care of it. We have to guard against that as individuals and as a community. In fact, in the Birkas HaMazon, in the actual full benching that we say after a full meal, one of the lines that we say is, V'no al tatzrichenu Hashem Elokeinu, lo lidei manas basar v'dam. Please, God, do not make me reliant on others for my sustenance. I want to be able to take care of myself. But on the other hand, there are times in the lives of every single one of us when we need help. And it's very interesting that for some of us, it is surprisingly difficult to accept, especially if we think of ourselves, if our self-image is that we are someone who helps others. When we need help, it can be very, very difficult to ask for it. It can even be very difficult for us to accept it. So it's a balance. We need to have a balance. And that is what this one word in Borei Nefashos is coming to teach us, to remind us that we also have deficiencies, and we have to thank God for our deficiencies, for what we do not have, because that is what encourages our relationship with others. No one wants a deficiency. No one wants to be missing something or lacking something or to be in need. No one wants that, whether it's in a physical realm, whether it's in an emotional realm, whether it's within a spiritual realm. No one wants to be missing something. But we all have deficiencies. Every one of us has deficiencies at different times and in different ways. And we have to thank God for each of them, because that's what connects us to each other. And the truth is, every single one of us is a giver and a receiver, often not at the same time. It could very well be that right now is a time that I have to receive something. Maybe I'm uncomfortable about it. But there's a time when I have to receive. I need help. I can't do it by myself. If I start to feel bad about that, one of the things that I need to say to myself is that there will be a time when I'll be able to be a giver, when someone else will need specifically what I'm able to provide. If you at a certain moment, in a certain way, need to be a receiver, don't feel bad about that. Understand that there will then come a time when you'll be a giver, when you'll be in a position to provide a help or an assistance to someone else. Maybe even the same thing you're lacking at this moment, and at another time you'll be able to provide it to someone else, or maybe it'll be in a different area. When Borei Nefashos, this common, ubiquitous prayer that we say every day, maybe multiple times a day, after any single snack that we have, when we properly understand it, and we properly practice the words that it is conveying, when each of us realizes there are times to give help and there are times to accept help. When we accept help, even though it's difficult, we thank God for creating that deficiency, because that is what transforms a group of individuals into a community. My friends, I want to wish you a great day, and I look forward to seeing all of you soon in person.